computer. Hello, everyone. I am Jen Robinson. I am the creator and editor-in-chief of Peaceful Living Wellness, an online magazine dedicated to making your life happier and healthier with all sorts of great wellness topics. And I am here today to introduce you to one of our expert contributors. She's also becoming a good friend of mine. I just really, really admire this woman, her wealth of knowledge, and I like her because she's just such a nice person. Without much further ado, I would like to introduce you to Dawn McGee from Dawn McGee Nutrition. And Dawn, tell us more about you and your wellness specialty, because it's nutrition, but it's lifestyle beyond nutrition as well.
It is. Gosh, Jen, that was such an awesome introduction. Thank you. I have
Oh, you're
really
welcome.
enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you for having me here and for allowing me to be a contributor in your organization. I appreciate that. So yes, I am a nutrition coach, certified and licensed for over 7 years. And I specialize in working with female entrepreneurs and businesswomen who want to learn how to eat so they can not just be healthy, but have enough energy to build the business and the life of their dreams. And they want to do it, without being hungry, without feeling deprived, without giving up their glass of wine, and without needing 26 hours in the day. Because gosh, don't we have enough to do already?
Right, right. I know that's one of the things that you and I connect on so well, because as a stress management coach, I'm always trying to get people to do less in their days,
Yes.
right? And that's
Yes.
such an essential part of your program as well, because you have your pyramid of the 3 points of wellness. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that with our viewers?
Absolutely. As you alluded to initially, it's not just about eating. It's not just about exercising. It's also about recharging yourself. And so those are the 3 points, what I call the triangle of health: eat, move, and recharge.
Oh, the triangle, I called it a pyramid, sorry.
That's okay. It looks like a pyramid. My background's a little techie, so I'll geek out for a second. And why do we call it a triangle of health? It's because a triangle as a shape is only as strong as its weakest leg. If any of the 3 sides collapse, the whole shape collapses.
Right.
Which is to say that if you're not taking care of your eating or your moving or your recharging,
Yep.
then things start to crumble, right? And I think we've all felt that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I get people when they're crumbling, right? That especially when that self-care part. And usually when people are crumbling with the self-care and the recharging, they're also crumbling with the movement and the food as well. So you and I, as I said, we are growing to know, like, and trust each other a lot because we work so well together. So tell me a little bit about why you went into this field.
Well, it's interesting. I have always been a foodie. I love to eat and I love to travel. So I tell people that I travel by stomach. And people always, I know it's funny.
That's great.
How do you stay healthy doing all that?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I find that it's easier to stay healthy when I'm traveling sometimes than when I'm at home and I have the pressures from my 15-year-old to have this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And so that's originally why I got into this field, is because I wanted to help people understand that, to use a cliche, you can have it all. You can have foods that you love, you can travel, you can enjoy, and you can be healthy also. And as I evolved and my business evolved, I realized that as women and as businesswomen and as entrepreneurs, we neglect ourselves. We put ourselves last all the time. And that the really, really crucial factor is putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Because aren't there so many people who talk about food and exercise all over the place? It only gets you so far.
It only gets you so far. Yep.
If you're not taking care of yourself and putting yourself as a priority, you won't reach any of your other goals either.
Yeah. And when we focus solely on food and exercise, we are also missing some of those essential hormones that we need to engage with for relaxation effect, for stress relief. So that's why your triangle is so important, because we're nourishing our bodies with food, which also has a hormonal effect. We're nourishing our bodies with certain hormones through exercise. That would be like the adrenaline and the endorphins. And then we're nourishing our bodies through self-care and recharging. And that would be more the dopamine and the oxytocin. You said you were going to get techie and geeky.
Go, you go,
Endocrinology
girl.
is my way to get nerdy. But it's been so enlightening for me to understand how these things work in my body, to help understand what's going on as I age, as I go through the processes of, starting with puberty and then getting into your 20s and you're up and down. And then I didn't have babies till I was in my 30s, and you're going, oh my gosh, the pregnancy up and down and the breastfeeding up and down. And then by and large, you have just barely gotten out of having babies and you're in perimenopause. It's like all about that triangle, right? If
It
you keep
is.
that in balance, then you really lead a much happier, kind of steady life instead of the up and down. At least that's been my experience.
Well, and I love that you use that visual, because scientifically speaking, when I talk to people about food, the scientific foundation is blood sugar stabilization. Keep your blood sugar stable, you keep your hormones stable, you're not hungry, you're not cranky, you're not sluggish like after a Thanksgiving meal, and you keep yourself in that steady state, and everybody's happy.
Yes, good point, right? Because in some respects, it's not just about us. It's about those people who have to live with us too, right? But you and I are both moms, and we both are married. So we do have people under our roofs. And I know that I want that same steadiness for them as well. And I see you posting, especially since we're in this time of sheltering in place with the COVID epidemic. I see you posting about how you're balancing things out for your 15-year-old son. And I just want to give a shout out, y'all, to Dawn's social media. Follow her at DM Nutrition. She has the most beautiful food pictures on there. And when she is traveling, you get to travel by her stomach as well. Half the time I'm asking her, Dawn, what is that? And what is that little rose thing on your plate? She really helps us through that visual to see how you can have healthy, and then you know what? Yeah, give your kid a waffle sometimes too. You posted that, I think, last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I love how you are so realistic about how to do this with our families as well. Speaking of waffles, what gets you
Yes.
going in the morning? I know some people have waffles at night, but mostly breakfast food, right? What gets you going in the morning?
In the mornings, all things being equal, I love a workout in the morning,
Yeah.
because it gets the blood flowing, it gets my body awake without caffeine, it gets my brain energized, um, and I get it out of the way.
Okay.
I'm an interesting contradiction, right? A workout is a super important part of my day,
Yeah.
but I also want to get it over with as fast as possible. So I
Okay.
do it in the morning when I'm half asleep. Um, but I don't do it on an empty stomach. I always have a shake before I go work out. Or if I'm working out a little bit later, I'll make a breakfast, but never on an empty stomach, because then I don't get any value from it. And I'm tired and sluggish and I don't have the energy for my workout.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that I have started doing that's kind of new for me, is working out in the morning. I used to work out kind of early afternoon. And it's funny, it's not to get it out of the way so much because I bribe myself with my workouts. I love
Mhm.
podcasts. And so I am like, I get to listen to a podcast while I'm on the treadmill or I'm out on my bicycle. We've had great weather here lately, so I've been
Mm.
bicycling around the neighborhood. But it's because with me, my whole journey has been about mood stabilization, because I was born and then raised by people who have mood disorders. So for me, I have realized that if I do both my cardio and my yoga and meditation in the morning, I am set for the day and I feel good throughout the day. Whereas what I was doing before is I work out in the afternoon and it was almost like I was struggling through to get to that afternoon. And then I was working out to get myself through the rest of the day. So I just kind of changed it up and I went, well, why not just do it in the morning, see how that works out? It worked out well, right?
I love that. And that's such a great lesson for people to take with them, is that there's no one right way to do it.
Yes.
You try
Yes.
something. If it's not great for you, try something a little different. I also find the same thing. Working out in the morning has a very positive impact on how nice I am through the rest of the day, to be perfectly honest, right?
Nobody wants grumpy mom, right?
Right,
You guys
right.
all know grumpy cat? Well, yeah, grumpy mom.
Grumpy mom, for sure. So I
Right.
do that in the morning. You know, many positive benefits, not the least of which is I'm a happier person.
Yes, yes, so important. Happier and healthier, because that's what we are all about here at Peaceful Living Wellness. We're about providing people with all sorts of quality, valuable information to make their lives happier and healthier. I mean,
Yep.
what more do we want, right? So
Well,
speaking of
of course.
speaking of Peaceful Living Wellness, what does peaceful living mean to you?
Peaceful living is happy living. You know, and one of the things that keeps us at peace here is keeping that cortisol level low, right?
Mhm.
Which means keeping our stress level low.
Yep.
And you know, no small coincidence that when you keep your cortisol levels low, it helps you reach your health goals much better, right? Because it reduces that cellular inflammation, which is so insidious when our cortisol levels are high and we're stressed.
Yep.
It's what I like to call a positive upward spiral. And we all know what a downward spiral is, but this is
Right?
a positive upward spiral. You reduce your stress, you're healthier, you're happier, your inflammation is less, so you're able to move better, you feel better. It's one of those very subtle things when you reduce the inflammation in your body. That's
Good.
happy, peaceful living.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. And again, you and I, we like to geek out together on all that physiology, but it has so much to do. Your physical physiology has so much to do with your neurophysiology, and that is
Mhm.
how you're feeling throughout the day. Okay, so what is the number one thing? I know it's hard to choose, but what is the number one thing you would like people to know about wellness?
There are so many things. It is true. But if there was just one thing, it's that you really do have to put yourself first. You have to take care of yourself in order to be able to take care of anybody or anything else.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Right? I tell my clients about putting the oxygen mask on themselves
Yep.
first. Because I work with so many moms. Not all of my clients are moms, they are all women though. And women are sort of socialized, although that's changing a bit, to take care of everybody else first. And so I just talk to them about, yeah, take that oxygen mask and put it on yourself first. So for you, Dawn, is that about exercise? Is it about what what is the thing that you think people need to do first and foremost to take care of themselves first?
I think for everybody, it could be a little bit different. For
Okay.
me, it's super important to both eat clean, to make sure I'm moving every day. Right now, to make sure I'm getting fresh air every day. It makes a
Huge,
huge
right?
difference for my mindset. Trying to keep my stress low, making sure I'm staying hydrated, getting plenty of sleep, and just ensuring that I am focusing on something good every day.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a lot. That was more than one.
Positive thinking. I know because that's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
because you and I are such heart-centered people. It's why we do what we do. We want so much for people. So it's
Mm.
okay. There's no rules here, right? I'm not gonna be like, you were supposed to focus on one. So here's something fun though. Although I have gotten a few like grimaces from people when I've asked this question, what is your one or what is a, you might have a few, no, you probably don't. I have a few. What is a guilty pleasure that is maybe not so wellness oriented?
um, I have a couple of foods that are like my kryptonite. I am a huge buffalo chicken fan. Wings, pizza, whatever.
Mm.
I love spicy foods. I went to college in upstate New York and I fell in love with buffalo wings. And so that is stuck. And, anything that's like, I love um, snacking, grazing. So a nice charcuterie plate with some nice cheeses and meats and nice glass of wine. Those are my guilty pleasures. But they fit into a healthy routine. So
Yeah.
it's not cheating. It's not anything bad. I wouldn't do a steady 24-hour a day diet of it, but
Right.
occasionally it's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that because that again is one of the reasons why we are so grateful to have you as part of our team at Peaceful Living Wellness. It is so essential that all of our contributors, all of our wellness practitioners are very realistic, and they all are like, yeah, you know what? Have your glass of wine, have your dark chocolate, enjoy a charcuterie tray, but know that it's part of this bigger picture of wellness.
Right.
So great, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Can you let our viewers know how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you, where they can find you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jen. On Facebook, I would invite everybody to come join my free Facebook group, Never Diet Again.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
And when they're there, they can download my free guide to 7 nutrition lies. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there today. And so I've got that out there to help people. And those are the best ways to reach me. I'm on Facebook all the time. And so that's a
Cute.
great way to get in touch with me.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Follow Dawn on Peaceful Living Wellness on her social media. Every month, she provides us with another really incredible article about how to fulfill your life through that, I almost said pyramid again, the triangle of the movement, the nutrition, and the self care. It's just all there for you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We'd love your comments. We'd love your subscribes and your continued following on all of our social media channels. Bye for now.